Hello guys, welcome back. This is SEMM1013 Programming for Engineers. Um, in this lecture, we're going to cover the topics of array. All right. Um, okay, so this is array, and credit to Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Shafiq for the slide provided. All right. So the arrays are basically a method to work in the programming with a large amount of data, basically. All right. Each array basically has an index that allow us to locate and manipulate the quantity stored in the array. For example, here you have x average. Average you have x1, x2, x3, and so on, xn over the n. All right. So you have multiple number of x here in which you need to basically store in your program so that you can get the average at the end. All right. So what would happen is that in order to get the average, every value of x must be stored in some sub value of x with the index, um, indicating the position of that value. For example, you have x1, maybe content is 10, x2, maybe the content is 3, for example. So if you want to reach out for the 3, you have to go for the x2, for example. So this is basically how the array works. All right. So array, how to work with it is that you have to give it a name. This is user-defined name. This is programmer's name. You can put any name you like, according to the rule of naming a variable, and accompanied by the size in the square brackets. All right. So this is the how you basically declare the array. You have storage class, data type, array name, and expression. And storage class is always optional. So you go to the data type, the name of the array, and the expression. For example, there are several typical one-dimensional array dimension array. You have 1D, 2D, and up to 3D and 4D. You can basically put many dimension of the array. For example, here you have data type, the array name, and the bracket. And then inside the bracket, you have the amount of spaces, the amount of slots, the amount of memory that you want to locate for that integer x. For example, again, you have char text with this amount of storage. You have static. This is the storage class, which is optional. You don't have to have this thing. You have char message. Clarify. You have float. N is your name with the slot of 12. So the slot of 12 meaning that you have 12 element in the array. All right. So some other method of putting the array definition is hash define size 60. So it goes the same as you declare text 80, x 100, and also letter and size. This is also how you declare an array. You have to define the size, and you can put variable in your square bracket other than numbers, as you can see from this one. All right. So you can read through this array definition. Yeah, you can read through, but this is another way that you can do to initialize or declare an array. For example, you have integer digits. Okay, this is a user-defined variable array with 5 elements inside, and you can straight away put the element in the array by using this method. All right, the first one, you have the curly braces, 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5, comma 4, comma 5. So this is the first element, second element, third element, fourth element, fifth element. Okay, so the fourth element is the value is 4, for example. All right. In this case, you have static float x. In the bracket, you have 6 elements. This is the first one separated by comma, second one, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So the sixth element of this x is basically 0. All right. So the same goes with the char. The same it goes to the other thing. As you can see, for the first, second, third, and fourth example of initializing an array, you have to put elements separated by comma. But in this case, you can basically work in this manner as well. In this style, you specify the number of elements in the square bracket. In the style, you don't specify. Both are basically accepted. All right. This is processing an array. That's all right. You can read through yourself. In this example, this is summation and average. For example, include studio. This is the main program. You have float x, 5 elements in the array. You have sum, you have average, and then you have, this is termination. This is a new line basically, but you can put it in the same line, as the compiler will basically recognize this and assume this is a new command, right? And then you have x1, x2. This is float x. You initialize x1 equal to 5, x2 equal to value 4. Could be any value. x3, the third element is number 3. The fourth element is number 2. The fifth element is number 1. So how basically you want to work with array? We have for loop over here. Then this is how you access x. K is basically taking the index of this one, incremental. So K will be starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the closing condition. So if, for example, xk, x1, then you have sum, which is equal to 0, 0 equal to 0 plus xk1. xk1 is 5. So you have 0 plus 0 plus 5. Then the new sum is now taking 5. Okay. So if k, this is for the first loop. For the second loop, k plus plus, plus plus k. Basically, now k is becoming 2. So previous value of sum is 5. 5 equal to 5 plus xk2 is 4. 5 plus 4. And the new sum will be 9. And you can do it over and over and over until the loop finish. And then they will basically print the average of the thing, right? So this is how you declare an array. You give value to an array, and you recall the array value in your program. Okay, you can try and basically evaluate this very same program too. You can declare an array. You can put elements in the array, and you can call the array value in the program by the index. All right. So we have seen how function works. You can pass any parameter to a function. You can pass array to the function as well, but this is how you declare the thing. All right, for the function prototype, you have to declare the array in this way. And when you want to pass things to the array, you just pass the parameter, because the list must be declared as an array in the main program body. You can pass the address of this array straight away. And then this is the definition, and this is the main function body. All right, this is how you pass array to a function. All right, alteration of array to function. You can alter array content in a function. For example, this is function prototype. You have passing value of array. This is studio.h. The main program body, you are basically this is A1, 0, A21, A3, 2. You print the value before you alter, you modify A. A is the function. Sorry, A is the array that contain all of this thing. But in the A, you actually rearrange the function and you return. Basically, A is modified by this function, and the new A will be updated. All right, this is how you alter array value outside of the program, of the main program body, which is in the function. That is about the 1D array. Now we are looking at a 2D array. Okay, the difference is here you have two square brackets, for example here, and you can basically you can like 3 to 4 you have 12, to 3 by 4 you have 12 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 7 up to this is 12. So or okay, you can initialize the value of double D array by the first approach, and the same goes to the second approach. This is the first 4 element, second 4 element, the third 4 element. This is 3 by 4 array. So both ways of array initialization are accepted. All right. So 2D array, you normally work with this kind of table. You can try this program and observe the value. The same with 1D array, except for this is 2D array. You need normally to loop, because you want to loop for example, row first, and then you go for the column, because you have two-dimensional array, which will be looking like a table in this case. All right. You can go through the same program as well. I'm not going to go through the detail, but it's all about initializing the array, putting the values in, and retrieve in the program to perform some mathematical calculation. All right. But putting the values of the array, this is how you do. This is array SP 2 by 3. So you have matrix of 2 by 3. This is how you put in the value. This is the 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, then 2 by 1, 2 by 2, and 2 by 3. This is how you put in value in the array. All right, the same goes here. The same goes in this program. You can try the program yourself. All right, so thank you very much. That's all for the lecture of the topic of arrays. Thank you.